Thursday, Marquise and Des Lawrence.
Okay, after reviewing the film, we did play a complete game in all three phases, but we still left a lot on the field. There were a lot of opportunities that we still could have been much better, and again, in all three phases. So there's a lot of room for improvement with our football team at this point, and hopefully we'll be better this week.
What kinds of things do you think you left out there when you watched them do everything?
Yeah, when you look at us, start off special teams wise, I mean, there was, kickoff coverage. There were some problems that we had. We lost contain on the one that they brought back to the field. Our interior guys weren't getting off blocks like we want them to. We've got on our punt team, we've got to do a better job in our coverage units. We only punted 3 times, but we still got to do a better job of getting where we need to be. And then again, we're nitpicking film, so if the ball was returned, then punt return, we left, we probably left 2 returns on the table that he could have had. I mean, the one earlier that picked up about 20 yards, or that one really should have gone the distance. It was, but we had a couple guys that didn't believe that it was going to happen, and so they weren't in position. But so there was room all around on special teams to make more plays than we did. Offensively, it wasn't as clean as we would have liked it. I mean, in a lot of places. I thought our guys played hard. I thought they, we ran the ball effectively. I thought when we threw the ball, I thought we threw the ball effectively. We got 4 or 5 drop passes in a game. I mean, one of them's for a sure touchdown. I mean, you can't have those things happen. Defensively, again, I thought our guys were in position. We had, they're running back. You give him a credit because he's a good player, and he created some problems for us in the open field, and we've got to do a better job of that. So,
how would you grade your defensive line for that game?
Again, I thought they were solid, just solid. So for that's 3 weeks in a row they've been solid. They haven't done anything to, they still haven't met the expectations that Trey has for them up front, but they've been solid.
Got this game against Delaware, and obviously, what's the background of getting 2 FCS teams on the schedule? I can't remember the circumstances.
I don't know. If I do know, I don't remember. I don't know what to tell you.
Are you okay with that schedule?
No, I don't really like having 2 FCS opponents, but that's it is what it is. I mean, we had two Power 5, or we had 1 Power 5, 2 Power 5 non-conference games, and so it is what it is.
What is your ideal breakdown for non-conference games?
I'd love to go. I'm okay with having 1 FCS team. A Power 5 conference team or non-conference team, and then then having a couple of out-of-conference games where they come from the other 5.
And do you prefer to have those 4 right at the beginning of the season, or would you prefer to have one later on?
3 early and 1 late's not bad. 4 early's not bad. A lot of it depends on who they are and when you're going to stick them in later.
What stands out about Delaware?
I don't know a whole lot about this team yet. It's still early, and looking at them, familiar with Coach Brock, who coached here, I think under John Bunning, you said. So he'll have a very solid team. Watching some of the film that I've been looking at right now is just some of the stuff from last year. Defensively, they ran around and made a lot of plays for them defensively. They've got this school has a lot of tradition. I mean, I think they won 6 national championships at the FCS level, so they know how to win. I mean, there's a tremendous amount of pride and tradition there. So, but I haven't gotten into it far enough into the game planning part to tell you what they are right now.
Don Miles said that one of the things he loves about playing where he is now is he gets to see everything. He didn't always see everything last year as a Ram.
Right.
How much of that do you see in him, just the fact that he can see everything and how he's been able to handle this position change from what he had a year ago is helping him? And also, how did being a Ram help him be a little bit more physical?
Well, first of all, when he was at the Ram, he played closer to the box, and so he had to be more physical. So now as he's backed up and played in the safety position, he's, the physicality part of it's pretty easy for him. But now you're in more open spaces. And so that's what he's got to be careful of, and we've got to make sure and put him in good positions. But Donnie's played really well. He's tackled well in 3 games. He's done a nice job of getting people where they're supposed to be. So I think his transition's been really good.
Your DBs seem like they've been kind of a lot more, I guess, on where they're in position to make a play, whether it's breakup or
More aggressive, yes.
Yeah, tackling a guy right when he gets the ball.
Yeah.
How much do you see of that when you watch film? I guess an improvement there with the DBs.
Yeah, quite a bit. I mean, a different approach, much more aggressive approach. We'll go up and press you and know that they have the ability to do it. And so they've got a lot of confidence right now. I mean, MJ's, I don't know how many PBUs he's got, but he's made some plays for us, and so has Dez, and now B-Walk's been at the nickel, and you got Mike Hughes, who played 40-something snaps the other day, who had a nice breakup down there in the end zone. Well, guys are just as a whole are playing much more aggressive.
It's not just their coverage, though. The way they're playing the run is so much better than it was a year ago.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's just a much more aggressive philosophy on that back end on what they're doing.
How would you evaluate Andre Smith's performance Saturday?
Really good. I mean, Andre, I don't know exactly how many plays, I don't have that in front of me, but he graded out very well. I mean, and so, that was a good feeling to know that if Dre had to go, if something happened with shot and Dre had to go, he could get out there and we didn't miss a beat. I mean, as far as the communication with the rest of the defense, all the calls that had to be made, he did a really nice job and then played well.
There were a couple of occasions where he was out there with Jeff. Jeff moved outside.
Yeah, Dre went to the Mike and Jeff went to the Sam, and so with Shot you can do a lot of things with because he understands all of it, so you can put him in different positions, and so we don't want to do that with Dre, so we're get him in at the Mike, get him a lot of reps there, and that way move Jeff around and probably get we had Shaq and Dre and Jeff all on the field, I think in their base, when they were in base. Now, they weren't in base a lot, but when they were, those are the 3 linebackers. So we feel like I got 3 best linebackers on the field at one time.
Does the game Saturday allow any opportunities to start preparing for Georgia Tech, given the fact that they do run a unique offense?
No, I mean, we're not, you can look across the landscape of college football, and just any team can beat you on any Saturday. There's great examples this past weekend of really good football teams that struggle against somebody. And it's still week in and week out about focusing on the opponent you have and going out and playing your best on that Saturday and not looking ahead or behind. Because if you do, it'll bite you.
Is there a temptation with
Not for me.
this week just because of what you're going to see against Georgia Tech, a very unique offense that's difficult to prepare?
No, our Gene and those guys have been doing that weekly, on Sundays. We did it throughout camp, and then on Sundays we've done it every Sunday. There's a period built in where we've done that. But no, we won't do it during the week.
What? I'm sorry, done what?
Worked on their scheme.
On Georgia Tech?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's a plan that we've had from back before the summer. We talked about how we wanted to do that because you got 3 days to prepare in that short week, and so we want to be able to do something weekly, but do it when it's not going to take away from the team we're preparing for.
Would you like to see more fans in the stands, or have you noticed, Coach, as you look around the stadium during the game?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I don't pay a whole lot of attention to everything else that's going on the field, and and I got players on me about you need to smile every once in a while. We're up 30 points. it's just not who I am. I know this. Our students do a great job. I'm proud of them, and they always do. And I don't have a whole lot of time to worry about other things.
To see Switzer rediscover his magic and to have all the other guys on the field sell out to handle their assignment to help make that happen, and to have that back in your arsenal and everybody get a little lift from that. How important was that to see?
That's big because we want, again, we preach game-changing plays on our special teams week in and week out, and we spend a lot of time on our special teams, and we put a huge point of emphasis on it. And we got really good players on our special teams. We expect our guys that are starters on offense and defense to be starters on our special teams. And, you know, so for them to do that and those other 10 guys out there to be busting their rear end so that it happens, that's big. You know, and that pays off for our football team.
What goes into setting up those punt return plays? Like, is there, you design it before you go out there, or is it set things you have, you know?
Yeah,
I mean, that 71-yard one was, it was perfectly set up for a run on the right side.
Yeah, we actually, I mean, we have, you know, you call them plays, or we have things that we're gonna do, you know, schemes that we're running throughout the game on our punt return units. We usually go in with about 3 to 4 schemes a week. Some of them are carryovers and some of them are brand new. A lot of it depends on what they do. You know, they cause a problem because there were multiple formations. And not just in the first 2 games that they played, but when you're looking at all 14 from last year, you know, or however many it was, you know, it's just, so you have to plan for all those. So we have to have a plan. So it keeps us simple in what we do, you know, but, you know, we thought there would be, if the guy punted us the ball, that we would have a chance with their coverage because they are in so many different formations. And if you watched when he got the ball, they were still really spread throughout the field, and you know, is what we thought. And so all he had to do was make one guy miss, you know, and then he's on into the second level. And when that happens, anything can happen from there. And so yeah, but we do have certain schemes that we work during the week, you know, for each team, and it's different week to week.
Tyler Powell saw a good bit of time at defensive end. Is that primarily due to Rogers being out? Or
Yeah, with Rogers going down, we decided to move him over that power end because he can handle it. He's got enough quickness and he's strong enough and all those things. You know, so we just moved him over there to get the reps, and he really did a nice job throughout the game.
Are there any other opponents that you set aside time every week to prepare for, or
No.
is there second?
No.
Is that something you've done every year you've been here?
Well, there were years we had an open week before, so we didn't feel the need to do that. And the years that we haven't had the open week, then we have done that, yes.
So like how much time is it, like, is this just during meetings, or is it during walkthrough type stuff?
During camp, it was walkthroughs, meetings, and on the field, and now on Sundays, it's just, we take a period, you know, in practice, and during, like when we're doing corrections and all those things, and they work on those things for that period, so maybe 10 minutes, 12 minutes, that they're working on just that scheme, and it's just a refresher, that's all it is. You know, you're doing base things just so that those guys are seeing it each week.
You're playing in the first month roughly of the schedule. Is that something you would do if they were later in the schedule?
Probably not.
So it's partly to where they come on the schedule.
Exactly.
It's early sign.
Yeah. So every year, guys, you know, you get the schedule, and in the summer, and start working on the plan for the season. Practices, everything as far as when games are, where they are, why they fit where they fit, everything. And so, you know, how many practices we're going to have, how many days we're going to take off, what we want to do. You know, now all of that can change, but to put a plan together, you know, and just work it as we go. So it's not just fly by the seat of your pants each week. I'm trying to explain that. Yeah, I understand.
Wherever you felt like that day.
Yeah.
Do you, with Nick, is there, you know, 2 more? I mean, I guess it's old hat now for you guys that.
I don't say much to him, you know. I mean, but I didn't say much to him last year either. I just, that's the approach I take with those guys is you know, I mean, he's got a lot of confidence. I mean, he really does. He feels good. I mean, Nick doesn't talk a lot. He doesn't say much. I mean, he really doesn't. If you've been around him, he doesn't say a lot unless you ask him a question. But I think he feels really good about where he's at. I think his leg feels good. He's healthy, all those things, and so he's hitting the ball with it.
How much does that change things for you when you know you can have that option as
That's-
opposed to last year not relying?
It affects the way you call plays. There's no doubt. You know, so when you get into that, you know, you hit that, you cross the 50, you start thinking about points. You know, and where, you know, as far as when you get in that fringe area of the red zone, you know you can get points there. So, you know, you start getting close to that 35-yard area, that kind of that taint area of what do we, if we get to 4th down, do we punt or can we kick it? I mean, and he gives you some leeway. He's made that go farther back, and so that's good. I mean, you know, he's hit some 48-yarders consistently. I mean, so that's a pretty nice thing to have.
Well, not that you guys don't play off aggressive typically, but were you more aggressive last year because you probably had to finish a drive to get into the end zone? I mean, are you able, is it a more of a, when you say it's different, is it a little bit more conservative now?
Well, when you get in
safer?
that area, you know you're gonna be more of a four-down mentality, because you don't feel comfortable kicking field goals from there. So your mentality is we're gonna be a four-down, or if we're in that area, then we're probably gonna punt it and try to pin you down inside the 10 and make you go 90.
Elijah Hood had his second 100-yard game. How is it, the running game, the mentality this season different than last season? I mean, it seems like it's just
Well,
doing so much
we're
better.
better up front. I mean, and a lot of those guys are back because they've got experience, and so we're better up front. And, we can take, we have taken the quarterback out of a lot of the run game situation stuff and put it back on the running backs, and so numbers-wise, we're okay, and what I mean by that is as far as defensive numbers in the box, the quarterback is the one they can't really account for numbers-wise, and so they can't outnumber you. So when you take him out of it, you equal it back up, but we're playing better up front, and running backs are running really hard, and so we're effective doing it.
Did all 5 guys grade out as you thought they might up front?
Like I thought they
Well,
would.
you were pretty positive about that new approach. They were more aggressive Saturday. And
Yeah, I thought as a unit, I thought they graded out better than they did the week before, yes.
the aggressive approach, are we going to see more of that? Is that kind of what works for them?
Well,
Or was
and
that
and the reason I
because-
talked about that is because that team, that defensive line used so much movement. So what happens is when you're an offensive line, you're a big guy, and the guy's standing right in front of him, you're going to block him, you want to come off the ball hard, and he moves. Well, you tend to get hesitant, so just see if he's going to move. And then obviously now you're not coming off the ball, now you're not being aggressive. And so the challenge is don't let the movement worry you, just go. And I thought they did a good job of that.
Anybody
All
else?
right,
All right.
thanks, guys.
Thank you.